Good morning. Happy Wednesday. It is not only a hump day, it is the first day of the rest of your life.
That's
Wake
right.
up.
Exactly.
Right. We've got Daniel coming in. It is Wake Up Wednesdays. And wherever you are, whatever time it is, it's time to wake the F up to your potential.
Hell yeah. How does it get
Da-
any better?
Daniel, send me a quick request to come on the video. Good morning, Mr. Kingston. Anita is here. And if you're here right now, just go ahead and type in the comments where you're coming from, what city you're in, and one thing that you're grateful for today. So how can we wake up to our potential if we're not even aware of it or looking for what's already working?
That's right. Exactly. I just arrived into New York yesterday, and it was
Bienvenido.
bienvenido en Nueva York.
Nueva York.
Nueva York is in the house. So I got off the plane, and I'm staying with my other family, and Sarah picked me up, and she greeted me with my absolute favorite New York flagel, my everything
Oh my
flagel with
God.
olive cream cheese. And I
Wow.
was just like, hold on a second. How did I get so lucky? And I remembered how grateful, especially, well, you've been too, you travel a lot too. When we go so far away from home,
Mm.
we create new environments and new homes and new experiences and new
Mhm.
everything that we oftentimes forget about the things that we're so grateful for and the things that we enjoyed. So I ate that bagel all the way home, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's so good." And it was so wonderful to
Yeah.
play and to be here. And I've got a little guy here who's 3 years old. His name's Isaac, and
Isaac.
he was just like I walked in the
Future
door.
leaders of our world.
Totally. I walked in the door, and he looked up at me, and he goes, "You came to see me?"
Oh
And I
my
was like,
God.
"Yeah, yeah." So I am
Wow.
super, super, super grateful. I'm super grateful today and super grateful every day, but this is a very special, special time.
Oh, man,
It's
I'm really
amazing too.
moved by that. God,
Yeah.
children are incredible.
Oh, he's
That
just
just
the best.
really hit me to tears, literally. Like I could
Yeah.
feel him. And
Yeah.
I wanted to share something. Like, what if
Hmm.
you who listening could take in, someone in your life like that,
Yeah.
or the sun like that, the new day like that. Oh my God, you came for me?
Mm. Right.
Rather than like, how
Yeah.
do we get through this? Oh my God, I have to
Yeah.
see this person. Like, what
Yeah.
if this is the greatest gift? We lose
Absolutely.
that after children. It's like, oh
Hmm.
yeah, there's that again. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Family drama. We forget to actually embrace the incredible gift
Yeah.
that is life.
The allowance.
The
Allowance,
allowance.
in access we call it, in access consciousness we call it allowance. And
Yeah.
allowance is consciousness itself is identified as allowing everything and judging
Mm,
nothing,
mm,
right? And that energy of allowance, think about how many things we just naturally resist.
yeah.
Things we just naturally resist because we're like, great, there's the sun. Okay, here's this podcast. Here's Ben, you know? Hi,
Absolutely.
Bren. My friend Bren in Mexico City is joining us.
Oh, it's incredible. We have so many wonderful people here, and Rob's come too. So if you're joining again, we're talking about the power of allowance and
Yeah.
where are you not allowing, and how can you allow more into your life. And there was this
Yeah.
great quote I heard this morning. It's a talk by a gentleman who I didn't recognize, but I'll tell you quickly. He said,
Mhm.
the brain actually cannot grasp negativity. So, for example, if you say, "Don't think of an elephant,"
Right.
right? You're thinking of an elephant, and he
Mhm.
talked about it with downhill skiers going down like I'll talk about it with 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 surfing, right? Because I'm in Costa
Mhm.
Rica surfing every day.
Yeah.
If you're thinking of falling, like don't fall, don't fall.
You're gonna
Pretty much
fall.
what you're bringing forward. I tell anyone
Mhm.
learning to surf, look where you want to go, right?
Mhm.
Don't look where you don't want to go. Look where you do want to go. Same
Yeah.
thing. So if you're looking for where's the opening, suddenly the brain sees the opening. So it
What if
actually
yeah, and what
you can
or
actually train it. So it's a choice of whether or not you can choose the not,
yeah,
right? Which is just going to bring you more of that
then yeah.
or the opening, the yes.
I have an idea.
Okay.
Let's go. I do not want $1 billion. I do
I do
not
not
want
want.
it. I
Yes.
do not want it. I do not want to have a great life. Oh my God, I do not want to meet my
No!
soulmate.
No!
Come on, exactly. It's really that energy that is what we call what we know to be the law of attraction, right? That's like
Yeah.
a vibration in the universe is whatever the energy is that's what manifests, you know?
Yeah.
So when you're constantly in I don't want it mode, you're gonna get it.
Yeah. And my
You're
buddy
gonna get
does
it.
this every time we'd go surfing, and I'd be like, "Okay, don't lose my keys." He'd be like, "No! You have to say, 'I can't thank you for bringing my keys back to me,'"
Exactly.
like, as I give them to him. He said,
Yeah,
"Your brain will actually remember it better
right.
rather than
Exactly.
it can't grasp onto the knot. All it can hear is, 'Lose my keys.' Can't
Exactly.
hear, 'Don't lose my keys.'"
Yeah.
Right? So, if you
Yeah.
say, "Can't wait to have my keys back."
Uh-huh.
That almost you and it's that simple. There's really easy tools to get
Yeah,
us out of our own way. We have
totally.
so many people come to us with these, like, massive dramas in their life,
Mhm.
including my own. I have my own,
For
and
sure.
but it's what's so great, what I love about what I do, and I'm sure what you do and who you are for me, is there's just this simplicity and ease and, like, really simple tools that you can use right now
Yeah.
to turn around your entire life.
Absolutely. Bren says, "I do not want you gorgeous to be happy and healthy." Happy and wealthy.
It's
Exactly.
amazing.
Thank you, Bren. I'm glad you don't want that for me. I don't want that for me either. And I don't want it for you either. I do not want you to be gorgeous and wealthy and happy. I love it. How did we get so lucky? Ben, how was the retreat?
Oh, it's
You guys know
incredible.
we've been away for the last couple of weeks.
Yes.
I wanted to give Ben the space to be able
Mm.
to, have his presence and do his things.
Oh, you're
And so
so
tell
kind.
us, how was it?
It was incredible, and for those of you who don't know what Daniel's talking about, for the 8th year, even though I posted all the time, I led a guitar yoga surf retreat called Balanced Guitar, and my new quote for this is, "What if you took care of yourself as well as you took care of your guitar?"
Wow, it's beautiful. Yeah,
So
because
it's
guitarists are very serious about their guitars.
Yeah, well, think of anything you're serious about. Like, fashion people are serious about their clothing. You don't want anyone to spill something on your greatest work of art, and,
Right.
they're works of art. And whether
Mhm.
you're professional or learning, I mean, we had people come who have no interest in learning guitar or who didn't even want to surf, but just wanted to drop into the nature of Costa Rica. We do this retreat. It's called Balanced Guitar,
Mhm.
balancedguitar.com, BALANCED, guitar. And the idea was, if a guitar was balanced, if you were balanced in your life, what would that look like? And most musicians don't realize that the instrument they hold is attached to their entire fucking body,
Yeah,
right? So it's one
the
thing to work
instrument
on
is
your
no good without
instrument.
them.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but how many musicians do you know that have a physical warm-up routine before they perform, or a cool down after they perform, or stretches, or
Yeah.
any of that? So as a yoga teacher and a musician, that was a huge missing for me that I saw, and we
Mhm.
provide. And Nosara, Costa Rica, and Playa Guiones is one of the most healing places on the planet inside of a blue zone, and where things are just alive and thrive, the animals, the nature. And the government has actually protected a lot of it as a wildlife refuge. So there's 100 meters of jungle between any development and the ocean that is protected,
Wow.
fully
Wow.
protected. And even inside of Nosara, there's jungle, like, even right behind some of the hotels, which is great because as they're trying to expand, there's still
Mhm.
regulations, and they're still asking people to donate to them. So
Incredible.
I want to give a shout out to the Nosara Wildlife Refuge. It was actually an American who came here and saw how Americans were destroying the land, and
Ugh.
she started rescuing every single animal that was suffering as a result of expansion and development. And she started this incredible refuge, and now she only hires locals. They're the
Mhm.
number one rescue burn unit in the area for monkeys. So
Aw.
Nosara is rich with howler monkeys, and as people build, and it's not just Americans, but that's how
Mhm.
it started. Closest people with a lot of money, and as people build wires and electricity and things, the monkeys were using them as, their trees were disappearing and wires were appearing. So they climb, they take the same path every day, whether or not it's on up in the sky or down on the ground, and the sky is the safest place. So
Wow.
they're also passive. You hear howler monkeys have this. I've been developing this like and it sounds like a
Wow.
dinosaur, and they're about this big. But they have this incredible, it sounds like Jurassic
Wow.
Park's coming, and what they're doing is letting each other know where they
Uh-huh.
are so that they don't fight.
Wow.
It's actually their call to keep space, and it's almost like setting boundaries. And
How
they're passive.
powerful is
They
that?
don't wanna fight, but if they do, they'll fight to the death, and then the
Mhm.
next male will take over. So, I learn a lot from it, and it's the best surfing around. The ocean's warm, it's 90
Mhm.
degrees every day, the ocean's 70 or 80 degrees every day, and the elements are just, the food is all organic, it's easy to be healthy here, and the
So
elements are just
beautiful.
rich with healing energy, and so we bring people to connect to themselves here. And we don't have to go to Costa Rica to do that, but it's a great place to do it.
It's a great excuse, right?
And,
Mhm.
I was telling Daniel, it was by far one of the most incredible retreats ever. I personally had massive breakthroughs in everything in my life, including booking acting jobs while I was here.
That's awesome.
Um, and it culminated with all of us like naked in the ocean under the full moon, and like people who have never been naked in front of anyone but their partner, and it
Yeah.
wasn't about even nudity or sexuality. That was so much liberation happened.
Vulnerability, yeah.
And some of those people were the ones that were the hardest to get here, that were so resistant, because we
Sure.
get so locked in the routine of our lives that we have no idea how to let go, surrender, and receive. And so what I
Amazing.
love about coming here and the nature of Costa Rica and the people and the pura vida lifestyle and the tranquilo, everything is that it doesn't work to be stressed out, neurotic around it. It literally is like
Oh.
it literally just does this, and so you
Mhm.
have to like, it just the land lets
You
it
have to give
melt,
into it, yeah.
and
You
anytime
know
we're struggling, you can
Mhm.
say, I always remind people just to turn back to the land. No, wherever you are right now in
Sure.
your life, whether it's not in Costa Rica, you can actually let the land hold this stuff. You don't have to do it
Absolutely.
alone.
Yeah, we meaning Access Consciousness, they are building a beautiful, beautiful retreat in Costa Rica, like
Mm,
a resort,
mm,
but it's so beautiful the way that they've architected it. What's the
mhm.
word? Designed it. Let's
Designed
say
it,
designed it.
yeah.
The way they've designed it is they will not cut down one single tree,
Mm.
right? They won't cut one single tree. The land itself is all sustainable. Nothing is going to be bruised or whatever. And it's just really stunning. I can't believe I haven't been there yet. So I'm super excited to experience it. I
Wow.
really want to experience it. Yeah.
That's
So you feel
gorgeous. Well, we're gonna
refreshed.
get a home here, and you can come visit us, and we'll have all kinds of retreats here. That's my
That sounds
goal.
amazing. That sounds amazing. It must be
I
also so good for the body. How
yeah.
often do we like everything you're saying, like my body is like, ah,
Mm.
I love that.
Yeah.
Can you take us there?
Yeah.
We want to go there, right?
Yeah.
And my body is just like, wow, I deserve to be there. And I'm like, you're right. You do deserve to be
You
there.
do. You absolutely do, and, all
Mhm.
the instructors, we do it for passion. It's not even, like, a big money thing for us. I
Right.
don't do it alone. My wife, Cassie Fireman, is a big supporter, and she gave Thai massages to every single person.
That is
So
so
she brought her
cool.
Thai mat and singing bowls to Costa Rica to make sure that everyone got the healing they
Did I
needed
tell
to
you I
receive.
I actually tuned in when you guys were having like a concert or something?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that
that
was our
song that
live final night concert.
yeah, 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 and that beautiful, beautiful piece that she composed, she and the other gentleman composed at the end. I thought that was so magical.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
those are all things that are a result of
Just
of
being
the
here.
of being there.
Yeah, yeah, there was many songs written,
Mhm.
yeah, it was really, really magical, and we had a flamenco player from
Mhm.
Spain, from, Turks and Caicos, we had, a Brazilian, Costa Rican players, we had a local, Costa Rican come play bass,
Wow.
we had people from New Jersey, and
Mhm.
Freddie Bryant is a professor of guitar at Berklee School of Music, and he is also a Tai Chi master, and he teaches the guitar and Tai Chi as well. So we had
Wow.
his amazing energy, and Richard Miller, who's the co-founder and one of my best friends, also was a professor of ear training at Columbia, and he lived in a yoga ashram and grew up
Wow.
surfing in Brazil.
How
So we put
cool.
all of these things together to really help us connect. And
That's awesome.
it's nothing but transformative. Like anyone who wants to learn to play guitar, they could, or just sing, or
I
just
was
be
gonna say
part of
I've
it.
I've I've never played guitar in my life. Like, is that okay? Could I make that happen?
Absolutely. Yeah, the first year we had a yoga teacher who hadn't touched her guitar that had been collecting dust for 20 years, and she left playing 3 of her favorite songs.
Wow.
So we really stand for people having whatever they want
Yeah.
out of this experience, and it doesn't even have to be, I mean, you could just come and sing or read a poem, or but
Hmm.
either way, the nature inspires something inside of you. And
Yeah.
so we always, there's a saying like, go where it's warm. I'm not always seeking to find the place, but I go to places where I feel warmth and taken care of. And it takes
Mm-hmm.
something to get here. And so when we're root, we decided to stay an extra week to receive. We'd been
Awesome.
giving so much, and we hadn't actually allowed ourselves to receive. So Cassie and I have been spending time together, just the two of us,
Right.
being quiet,
That's
meditating,
yeah. That's
sleeping.
such a great metaphor for life, right? Like,
Mhm,
look at this thing that you created, Ben.
mhm.
You and Cassie and all the amazing people created. You guys created this incredible experience, right? Incredible experience. And you were so present and so in that space of gifting the
Mhm.
whole time, you know, that the contribution that you be also allowed yourself to be nurtured and nourished as well.
Yeah.
But after it was all done, we spoke about this before we went live. Usually there's a hole there, right? There's that hole, and you didn't have that this time. You were
No.
completely filled up because you were in the place of gifting and receiving. You were really in the place of allowance to be the contribution both to the space, to each other, and that's so incredible. And what I've been asking myself this a lot lately as well. Like, what would it take to be in contribution 24/7, right? Gifting and receiving. Contribution is a simultaneous gifting and receiving from the universe. It's not an I'm going to give you this and then I'm going to wait and you're going to give me that. It's not that. It's very different. It's very much an energy of just complete synergy and
Mhm.
complete awareness. And what we really want to do is tap into that energy of being,
Yeah.
of being and being in that space of gifting and receiving simultaneously all the time.
Yeah.
So it's a really good indication if at any point we feel exhausted, right? We feel burnt out,
Mhm.
we feel stuck. It's a really good indication that the what could be shifted is recognizing how to be more in a contribution with your receiving, right? Because a lot of times we're just giving and giving and giving and giving and giving, and we're not open to receiving. And so,
You're so spot on.
yeah, what
Can
would
I
it take? Yeah,
go ahead? What would it take?
what what would it take? What would it take for us to be in contribution to anything and everything in the entire universe all the time, no matter what? Recognizing and realizing that there is an equal ask and receive that's happening simultaneously, right? It's a part of the quote unquote good book, and it is a rule. It really it's a cosmic energetic rule,
Mm.
and to tap into that energy, what would it take? And everything that doesn't allow that for you, just constantly destroy and uncreate it, right?
Yes.
Constantly destroy and uncreate it.
And if you don't know how, just ask.
And just
That's
ask.
that's a great tool.
Yeah. And you can
S
choose. Hello. How many times are we in that space and we're like, something's off here, something's off here, something's off here, and we stay in that space without choosing. But if we actually took the time to choose, if we said, oh, wow, guess what? I can make a choice here. I can do something
Yeah.
differently. How does it get
No
even
can be
better?
one of the most powerful statements too. We were talking about
Yeah.
no and honoring boundaries. That's also why I had a profound transformation this week, Daniel.
Yeah.
And I typed all my wins out on Facebook, like personal wins, is because I set
Right.
stronger personal and professional boundaries than I ever have in my entire life this week. And I had a lot of
Wow.
opportunity to practice them.
Hmm.
Being a leader and responsible for many adults and with a lot of moving parts, there's always
Okay.
something to do. And so by
Uh-huh.
setting up boundaries, it was just like, my nap time is uninterruptible, and setting
Good.
alone time, setting
Yep.
connection time with my partner, showing up for all these different things. It's um and something you said about
Yes.
this hole inside of us, it really touched me.
Mhm.
And there is still some of that where the group was, but I know how to fill myself up. But something that Richard Miller said, one of the teachers on the
Mhm.
retreat, is that, inside of us, like a guitar is actually, acoustic guitar is hollow,
Mhm.
and it's in the emptiness and the space that it resonates.
So
And
beautiful.
singers, when we sing, the reason
Mhm.
we sing is because of actually what's
The
resonating
space.
up in the back of the head, up in here, the space that's built in our heads and voices to resonate, to create this beautiful healing sound. And in our soul and our heart,
Mhm.
oftentimes inside of loss, and no transformation is without loss, right? Sometimes we must release something in order to receive, but inside of that, we create a space.
Mhm.
And inside
Or
of
what
that
if we
space
Yeah, yeah. Mm.
is where music lives
So
and
you
fills us
said
up with
something
love.
exactly. You said something so beautiful. You said, what was it about loss? You
Inside
great
of
transformation comes through.
transformation. Yeah.
So instead of that, why don't we what would it take for us to fill that space with music,
Mm,
right? And allow that vibration of music to be that healing element that actually, uh, let's say, calms or
mm,
nurtures or maybe takes the pain away or becomes a bridge for you.
mm.
It's such an amazing metaphor. It's such a I love the universe, like the perfection of everything that exists just in the universe, you know?
Yeah.
And that is such a beautiful example that it's in that hollow space that the energy is found. Also, if you
And
think
our
about a
hearts
light
can
bulb.
sing, right?
Mhm.
It's in the
Yeah,
even grief is, like, profoundly beautiful if you really allow it.
absolutely. Yep. Yeah. And like if you look at like a simple it's such a great metaphor, Ben. If you look at a light bulb, right? A light bulb has these two prongs, right? And one is the positive and one is the negative. And where do you see the light? In the space that happens between them,
Mm,
right? You don't see the light. It's not like this pole is the light. It's like you have to have this pole and this pole, the positive, the negative, the this, and that's what creates the light. And
mm.
so that space is so important. Also, even if you went down to the an atom, right? An atom, the subatomic level, it really is the space that is the space of creation.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Thank you for that awareness. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
And that was, gifts from other people, and,
Yeah.
just creating the space to listen to
Hmm.
someone other than myself sometimes.
And what if now is the space? Dr. Dane here is always talking about that. He's like, now is the space. The space is now.
Mm, mm.
Now is the space. The space is now. Just allowing yourself to be present with that. Now is the space. The space is now.
And that you're allowed to take up space. You
Hmm.
know,
Yeah.
there's a man here from the Lion's Den, who
Hmm.
actually met in Chattanooga growing up, named Johnny Rodriguez, and
Hmm.
some of these men really stepped into this space, allowing themselves, literally,
Hmm.
space for the first time in their lives. And Johnny
Yeah.
was going through a divorce and working like, wow, wow, really creating
Yeah.
a transformation in his life and having to let go of a lot. And inside of that, his children came back to him. He spent his first Christmas with them, and his heart is
Wow.
just immensely open. And he just dropped a beautiful comment here. So I just want to acknowledge you, Johnny, for showing up for yourself, and that you've done this work. And I'm really grateful to see you here, and Mike Dixon as well. So these are all men who have been there at different points in my life.
That's
When
awesome.
I've suffered, and just each other
Hmm.
holding space, right? And
Hmm.
that's
Yeah.
sometimes all we need. And so you also said something earlier about, gifting and receiving and offering
Hmm.
to the universe. And I just wanted to roll that back to, where are you just not allowing yourself, just yourself to receive,
Hmm.
right? Especially if
Exactly.
you're one of those, like, you've got the hero complex or the martyrdom syndrome, where you're
Mhm.
always showing up for other people and you're giving and you get a lot from giving, right? But where
Absolutely.
are you not allowing yourself to receive? You know, it's
Yes.
often those people that are like, "Oh, no, no, no," when you try to give to them, "Oh, no, 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 thank you. No, no, no,
Mhm.
thank you." We have a
No.
woman here in Costa Rica named Sina Aragon, who is
Mhm.
amazing human, and man, she's been through transformations with and without us, but we've hired her for the last 8 years to cook all the food for us, and
Mhm.
that's a really important part of our retreat and just connecting to your food again. And she can cook. She's amazing because she can cook for all the wild diets us Americans have today. And uh, with so much love. And she always brings things from her backyard or her chickens or her trees, or there's just like, it's so much goodness and love in this food. And we
Mhm.
just, because we pour love for her and we let her know how grateful we are. And she said, you know, even we were like the first group to acknowledge her as, you know, a human inside of this. And it's just wild just because
Yeah.
someone looks different or we hire someone, how we immediately dehumanize them. And so we really really nurture her. And one of the things we did is we Cassie gave her a massage while Freddie serenaded her and the whole group sang to her. And we all got dinner the last night and we invited her to the table as like our friend and to listen to the music with us,
Right.
just not to work for us, you know, that she really was part of us and really welcomed her in. And it was just, it's this, and she was really a space of like, no, 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 thank you. And we're like, no, seriously, you're going to sit here and receive
Yeah.
because you give so much to us. And it's really, really important to us that you know that we want to give to you.
Of
And
course.
so where are you not
Beautiful.
allowing, like people are begging to give to you. Consider that people are begging to be of service
Yeah.
to you and you're still trying to do it by yourself.
And how selfish are you? How selfish are you for not allowing someone else to have that pleasure
Mm,
of what it feels like to gift to you,
mm,
right? We think it's like, "Oh, no, please, it's okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you." But think about how many times in your life you've gifted something to someone and the light that happens when you see them light up,
mm,
right?
mm,
Is that really for the person who's receiving or is it for the person who's gifting?
mm.
I think it's really both, but the person who's gifting also, it's really important to him or her, right? And so if we block off the ability to allow someone to share with us, if we block off the ability to receive that which is a contribution from somebody else, honestly, it's quite selfish.
Mm.
It's quite selfish. We think it's holy or we think that it's, noble, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's
Or
selfish.
humble, right?
Humble. Yeah.
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 So
Yeah.
stop being humble and receive.
Yeah, exactly. Stop being humble.
It's like the nice
Receive.
guy thing. Like I definitely had that, like the people pleasing nice guy thing.
Sure.
There's a great book now that's going viral amongst men called No More Mr. Nice Guy because guys are realizing they actually can ask for what they want in a
Wow,
loving way and not step on people, right? There's like great
it's
ways to
beautiful.
take up space and you need to take up space. You need to practice
Mhm.
putting yourself out there so that you can fail and learn and grow.
Yeah, it's
You know, we
beautiful.
don't learn to walk by uh well, yeah, we don't learn. I was gonna say we don't learn to walk by crawling, but that might be part of it, but we really do by falling, right?
By going through, yeah,
And,
yeah.
if you're scared to receive, maybe that's your fall. Maybe it's like, "Oh, no,"
Mhm.
like, it's your trust fall, like, "What if I
Yeah.
just receive?" Right?
I have a question for everybody actually, and think about it, like, really, really think about it. So, we've been so programmed to believe that, you know, that 1%, let's say, is greedy and selfish and whatever and what have you. But think about it. Could you do more in the world, and for the earth as someone with a lot of money or with no money? And now begin to look at the energy of receiving the same way, where it's not just about the money, it's about receiving. If I'm willing to receive $1 billion, which I absolutely am, if you are receiving $1 billion, that means that you have the ability to be the contribution to receive that billions of dollars, right? And you have the ability to do so much with it. Whereas if you're like, no, it's okay, I'm good with 1,000, you know, what who creates more in the world? Who creates more in the world? And again, it's not a judgment. It's not about rich people are smarter or better or this or that. It's about receiving, guys. It's about receiving. The more you are willing to receive, the more you are willing to share. Now, yes, I know there's selfish people that do this and do that, but forget about them. This is about you. If you're willing to receive exponentially, what could you also gift to the universe to make the world a better place? And that is really something that I've been asking so much lately, Ben, because I recognize that so much of my spiritual practice has been about poverty, right? About poverty. And poverty is such a lack.
Mm,
It's
mm,
such a lack-based consciousness. Poverty is the unwillingness to receive,
mm,
and for me, what I've learned is I've learned that I'm such a greater contribution. I'm such a
mm,
greater contribution to the world
mm.
when lack is not an option,
Yeah.
you know?
And I have so many friends, yeah, from poverty who said, who are afraid to make money or to hold or don't know how to hold on to money because it means
Yeah.
that they think it means they're gonna like not, they're gonna die or they can't surpass their friends or family or they won't be safe,
Mhm.
right? Or it's not humble, right?
Right.
And I had to get past that own thing for myself, Daniel. I mean, I definitely resonate with that because my family was all about, oh, it's not about money, it's not about money, just do what you love, do what you love. But then I
Yeah.
didn't actually realize I used to say no to money. I thought money was bad and evil, and you actually
Right.
have this great opportunity of like, where are you not receiving because you're trying
Mhm.
to be humble, right? And
That's
that
right. Yeah.
if you just say yes to anything that anyone ever offers you at a job, any amount, you can never receive your potential. It's in the no. I'm actually requesting this. This is how much I'm worth, and you
Mhm.
can pay me this, or I'm going to find somewhere else. And
That's
that
right.
is when you start making serious money because you let the universe know that you're in.
Mhm.
Like when I stopped doing free work as an actor, I
Mhm.
got paid infinitely more. Shocking,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
When you say
Absolutely.
no to those things that don't serve your energy, it
Mhm.
allows all this incredible space to say yes to all the other stuff that can,
Yeah.
right?
It reminds me also of when I raised my rates, I was really guided. I needed to raise my rates, and there was a part of me that was like, "Oh, but I don't want to become inaccessible to people, and oh my goodness, and who's gonna stick around, and who's gonna leave, and who's gonna whatever." And one day, without notice, without announcement, I raised the rates of my
Mm,
private sessions,
mm.
and within 2 days, I had like a dozen new clients, like that literally found me off of Google. You know what I mean? Like it didn't make sense. It
Yeah,
didn't make sense. Like it doesn't logically make sense. It
logically,
makes it makes sense energetically because now
right.
once I realize what I'm worth, then people will show up and also recognize that that's what they're worth too, and they want to make that kind of investment. You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Yes.
where are you not receiving? Go forth and receive today.
Exactly. Ben,
Just
I love you
dream
so much.
big.
I miss you so
I
much,
know, I
brother. I
miss
miss
you.
you
Oh my
so
god, we're
much.
literally circling each other on
I
the
know.
hemisphere right now. We're like,
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah. So, to be continued. And thank
Exactly.
you so much for joining us. Oh my gosh, we
Thank
had
you
so
guys.
many beautiful humans here today. Please come back next Wednesday, every Wednesday.
Please,
This is
please, please,
going
please.
to be a
Thank
podcast
you,
soon.
Bren.
So subscribe if you're listening and comment and let us know what landed and tag someone who needs to hear it. Okay. We need to spread this
You're
love.
so good at that stuff. I forget that stuff. That's awesome.
It's just a practice.
I love it.
Thank
I
you.
guess
Well,
that's
it's
what comes
important.
from. Of course it is. It's amazing. It's super
There's too
important.
many like shitty algorithms out there telling us to be afraid. So let's spread the
Yeah.
good ones. And if no one
Exactly.
told you they love you today, I
We
love
love
you.
you.
We love
I
you. I
love
love
you.
you, Daniel.
I love you, Ben. And I love every single one of
Yeah,
you. And if
I
you
really
dare ask me how is that possible because I don't know you, I know you're infinite being and I know that you're beautiful and we love you.
truth.
Truth. All right, guys, have a great day. Ben, thank you so much.
Bye. Mwah.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Mwah!